All right, here we are. It's been about a month since I've done like an actual build stream. Well, today's like an experiment stream plus build stream. Okay. If you're new to the streams, my name's Jared, software engineer, about a decade. Currently have my own software development company, and we build for your startups. And right now, I also do the live streams where I'll teach stuff, I'll build stuff, have a good time. We'll shoot the shit in the chat. I know just bobbing around's in here. Yeah, actually early for once. Nice. All right, so today I wanted to talk through some ideas, talk through some very interesting ideas. So today we're going to be experimenting with AI software engineering. So we're going to be breaking down, because like I know a lot of you guys saw Devin, right? A lot of you guys saw Devin. Devin made some shockwaves in the world, and I get it. I get it, dude. I get it. Devin's very cool. Hey, what's up, Javu? How's it going? How's it going? We're getting people in. Yeah. This is gonna be a fun one because I really wanna explore some concepts here. Everyone see my screen? Nice. Okay, I want to explore some concepts. So Devin. So Devin is a pretty cool tool. I've been liking Golang. By the way, guys, I've been working on a few things. This, by the way, what I'm streaming today is not the secret project. It's adjacent to the secret project, but it's not directly the secret project. The secret project is I think it's very cool. I think it's very cool, but it's going to be very. I've been like talking about a secret project. All right, let's actually look at Devin. I just realized I don't know if you guys can hear this. Well, I think everyone kind of saw it. I think everyone kind of saw it. I just took our jobs. Let's see, Devin AI. I think let's actually just break down this article that they released here rather than just the video. Okay. Introducing Devin, the first AI. And by the way, today I'm not using Devin, but I'm going to be going through what I think is being used to build AI software or software engineer type code LLM agents, but also I'm going to be diving into methodologies that I've been experimenting with that I think are pretty cool for coding projects with AI and kind of automating a lot of the process, doing some LLM agent type automation. Nothing that's like crazy yet, but stuff that I think is pretty interesting idea. Alarm man maxing. What? Perfect late night stream. Oh yeah, Jack Hunter. Yo, Jack Hunter's here. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Michael Turner? Yo, everyone's here. How's it going? All right, so okay. Devin is a separate thing though. This came out. It's essentially a maybe I can get a visual on it. It's a AI that we'll get into the code. We'll get into coding and chilling a little bit. Throughout heaven and earth, Jared alone is the base one. What the? Don't give me that. I'll take that. If you give me that, I'll take that. Let's see. Should I play this video? I just want to see if you guys can actually hear. Let me play the video. I'm gonna see if I can get this. Hold on a sec. Let me play because I think Devin's cool, and I know like it's very easy for. How does this work? Let's see. Be negative and Luddites, which is weird, and it's always the ego. It's the ego. It's the ego. When I play this video, you guys gotta let me know if it works, if you guys can hear it, because I have no idea if you can hear this or not. All right, I'm gonna play it. You guys let me know if you can hear this. I'm gonna play it. Hold on a sec. Right now.
Hey, I'm Scott from Cognition AI. And today I'm
Can you
really
hear it?
excited to introduce you to Devin, the first AI software engineer. Let me show you an example of Devin in action.
I'm
I'm going to
just
ask
so
Devin to
pissed off you
benchmark the
can't hear
performance of
it.
Llama on a couple different API
Yep.
providers.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
From now on, Devin is in the driver's seat. First, Devin makes a step-by-step plan of how to tackle the problem. After that, it builds a project using all the same tools that a human software engineer would use. Devin has its own command line,
Look at Devin.
its own code editor,
It's got its own code editor.
and even
Wow.
its own browser. In this case, Devin decides to use the browser to pull up API documentation so that it can read up and learn how to plug into each of these APIs.
You can read docs.
Here, Devin runs into an unexpected error. Devin actually decides to add a debugging print statement.
You're telling me Devin can actually debug with print statements? Juniors don't do that shit. Juniors just look at code and they're like, it's broken. What do I do to fix me? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, by the way. Some do.
Reruns the code with the debugging print statement, and then uses the error in the logs to figure out how to fix the bug.
Cool, cool. Very cool.
Finally, Devin decides to build and deploy a website with full styling as the visualization.
Cool. It does stuff.
You can see the website here. All of this is possible today because of the advancements that we've made in both
This dude's
reasoning and
squinting
functional
like a
planning.
motherfucker.
It's a really hard problem, and we've only just started. But we're super excited about the progress that we've made so far.
Nice.
In the meantime, if you'd like to try out Devin,
Is he squinting or is it his glasses?
send us a request
He's
below.
squinting like a. I swear he's squinting like a motherfucker. They should have like put the thing in closer to him or something. All right, cool. Devin looks cool. Will you stream supervising Devin? I don't have Devin. Pay for it? You have to pay for it? Haven't even finished. Yeah, it's got to be his glasses. Haven't even finished my degree and my job was stolen. No, I didn't steal your job. But no, I think it's cool. So like couple things though. I'm listen, the this type of stuff is what got me into LLMs like a year or so ago, a year and a half ago. This type of stuff is really awesome and fascinating. I think we can push it even further. So like a lot of that's interesting. And I don't know what they're doing on the back end, but I think as individual developers, we can at least explore how we can actually code our own projects and like think through the logic of how you can actually get like AI automating your software. And we say AI, what we mean is these autoregressive token models where the feature space is literally like little tokens, uh, like parts of words. That's really what we mean. So like Devin is cool. Let's explore these concepts, comma. So I've been what this isn't the secret project, but this is something I've been fascinated by, and I've been writing up a little. I have a few side projects going. I'm in the arena right right now, but this is one of them that I'm like kind of gonna explore a few of the concepts I have here, just because it's I don't think it's like that big of a deal, and this is just something that's probably gonna be additive to something else. Um, so I have this project here where I'm be essentially I have a method of AI software engineering. Well, first let's actually define AI software engineering. So AI software engineering is software building software with AI, really with LLM agents. When we say AI nowadays, they mean large language models. That's what they mean. AI isn't like because AI used to just be like a field of like study. Now it's just hey, you have this one type of model, the transformers. Throw as much data as you can as possible and just keep optimizing it. Keep optimizing the nitty gritty. Um, by the way, I'm not setting that as a precedent. but that's what it is right now. Hey, I'm just a messenger, okay? Um, so I have a method where we're gonna do test-driven development. You guys know what test-driven development is? Write your tests first, and then build your features. Did everyone see this, by the way? I don't know. Like sometimes I don't know if I should make the font big. Um, Jared is Jared. You're all right. You guys are getting a little getting a little suspect in the chat. If you want real AI, check out Bayesian inference. I mean, that's just you mean if you want basic AI. Didn't Cognition say they were using a different architecture that is moving away from transformers? Did they? Did they? I even if they're not using transformers, they're definitely doing these autoregressive NLP. Like it's definitely like it's definitely in the same vein of like an RNN or like, but that's fascinating though. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Before I continue, Cognition AI and not using. Are you just making that up, Michael Turner? You just making that up? Just kidding. Um, Rise, dude, Google search is so bad. It's so bad. Let's see. Where'd you hear that? It might okay. It might be another company. Okay, so Michael Turner's fully lost it in the chat. He's fully lost it. He said some groundbreaking stuff, and now he's like, well, I don't know. All right. He's fully at it. He's fully let's get back to what I was doing. Let's get back to what I was doing. Okay. I think so what I found is when you give these LLMs like ChatGPT a test first, and then you say essentially let's actually play with it in ChatGPT. When you say give me a test first, and then you say actually let's just do it. Let's just do it. You get to see some of my hilarious. I'll ask it the funniest shit ever. uh, Hold on a second. I was doing a Riz generator. I gotta show you guys the Riz generator. Hold on a second. What's the funniest thing I have in here? I have the funniest. Wait, I have a really funny thread here that you guys will like. Dystopian anime scene. This one didn't do it. I don't think. Parse video transfer. What was I just doing? Oh yeah. Uh, let's see. Okay, all right. Write me a node.js test, unit test. Okay, so I just said like it doesn't matter what it is, right? Oh, it's funny. It actually gave me a unit test from that I'm actually testing with. Anyway, so here I can say, give me the requirements in order for how I can implement this unit test. So they gave me a unit test for extracting. This is like the code that I've been using. I've been using code to like extract, or I mean, this is I want a project where I can play around with extracting transcripts from videos and play around and manipulate the transcript text. So, and I was like, I don't want to code that right now. I don't have time for that. So I'm like, I would like to automate that. But long story short, so I said, give me like some unit test for the functionality here. Here it's for some API method for parsing the video URL transcript. And and it makes a fetch call and it tests it. This is a jest test, yada yada yada. You get it. If you don't know what a test is, it's like a unit test is a way of testing that your code works, and it's isolated. It's a unit. It's a unit of work. It's not an integrated test in which you're testing the full integration of multiple features, right? Um, Okay, so here I'm saying, give me the requirements for how I can actually make the test. So they say, hey, here's a Node.js environment. This is very cool, right? You need to install Jest testing framework. You need to install Node Fetch. You need to be um, Gherkin. What's Gherkin? You need to be mocking libraries. Implement your API module and video extraction module. Implement the test and then run the test, right? So that's cool. So that's actually not how to actually literally. So now give me the requirements for actually writing the code for the test. This is all stuff that's super easy. It's super easy to automate an npm install, right? So here they actually get into it a little more, where they just say I need to mock this module. They kind of just said the same. They really just said mock this module and then mock this stuff, but whatever. The point is, I'm sort of showing the process that I have here. So I have a script where this is how the algorithm works. So the algorithm works in a way where the user comes and they prompt for a to do something. They say, hey, I want to build a web app I'm scraping so much. I was just going to type in scraping. I want to build a web app for extracting transcripts from a video and returning all of the funny moments. That's a pretty complex task. Okay. That's a pretty complex task. But the point, the cool thing about this is the way this algorithm works is first we generate a series of, well, first we actually generate documentation for it. And it's Node.js documentation. It's all a Node.js project, because I also find when I'm generating code, when I'm doing AI software engineering, it's good to keep the scope within one framework. I think it's a lot better to keep the scope within one framework, because when you start, that's one thing I find. I hate things like, personally, well, not hate. I don't like things like Auto GPT, where it's too generic and they're just relying on thought process to it's a pure reasoning engine that's connected to function calling and logic and all this stuff. I think that's not the way to go about it. If you want to do specific things like tell an AI to build a project, uh, I think you can get it done, by the way. And I think I'm guessing things like Devin have found a more structured approach with their narrowed focus, hopefully. So something I've been playing around with is having these deterministic functions, which is kind of like a buddy of mine is really into. I'm gonna go on a little tangent. I know I go on so many tangents. All right, PINNs. So physics informed neural networks. So this is super fascinating. There's a reason why I'm going on this tangent. It's not like just insane. It's not fully insane. Yes, Freddie, it's worth learning to code. Don't be stupid. What, you think it's not worth learning to code? Who's gonna code the AI? You just want to leave it all to people like me? All these people, you guys are selfish. You're like you're like what? Oh, it's I shouldn't even learn how to code now. What? So all of us need to code AI now? No, now is the time to it's not about like just fitting into a like market segment in the bureaucracy of work. It's about getting competent in what is needed to get results. Okay? And like it's not a like but whatever. We'll talk about that later. Uh hey, back over here tonight. Hey, what's up, Juan Pablo? Just bobbing around like trying to gatekeep. Yeah, I won't gatekeep you. All right, so physics informed neural networks are a type of universal function approximators that can embed the knowledge of any physical laws that govern a given data set in the learning process and can be described as partial differential equations, PDEs. They overcome the low data availability of some biological and engineering systems that makes most of the state of art machine learning techniques lack robustness. Okay, so what they're really saying is a, in a lot of systems are chaotic in nature when it comes to data and the information that they say low data availability. I think what they really mean by that is the information you have access to will always be limited. So it's like if you look at, or it'll always be unstructured to some extent and fairly chaotic. So if you look at like weather systems and a lot of, missile tracking systems, like things where it's like very real world, um, they're using a lot of these physics informed neural networks that are using physical laws to in the training to sort of like almost have these laws that are always approximating the the world model of the training, just so that you kind of have like it's very easy to set guardrails and steer the model. But they're using these to control systems with low data availability. Um, I know that that may sound like a lot of things that sounds weird. I'm not saying that I'm like an expert on this or any of that, but I think it's very fascinating because I think what in the software world we're so used to just kind of forcing things and having a very clean structured environment that right now you see this with LLMs. People are just throwing data at models where there may be a way to just kind of have a control system that's more so you set the laws for how the world works, and then the training process is more just aligning the data, aligning the weights towards that task, whatever is the world that's defined. I'm speaking kind of like generic about it, but um, long story short, you could say, okay, well, it's like imagine like if rather than starting from zero and nothing, you can also teach the model, hey, also gravity exists. So you don't have to learn gravity. You get what I'm saying? Um, so I'm not taking this approach to when it comes to back to describing what I'm doing. I use that as inspiration for this idea, because I like the idea of you have these north stars, you have the tests, and you generate and define your tests, and you almost use the stochastic nature of the LLM to catch up to what the tests are. Does that make sense? So you have deterministic functions, which are the tests, and then you have the LLM almost like with the stochastic, I guess, nature of LLM or of just all AI neural networks to catch up to the standard of what the tests are. So back to what I'm doing here. So first we generate documentation for this task. And by the way, this isn't like done. I'm just showing you stuff I'm experimenting with that I think is pretty cool. And I'll get into the code in a sec. But first we generate documentation for the task. That's going to be in, it's all node.js. So I'm giving it a limited scope, which I think is important when you're doing this AI software engineer automation stuff. Um, so I say generate documentation for the task, and then I generate tests first pass. So it's like I don't, these tests still don't need to be, it doesn't need to be perfect. And it should be comprehensive. And this is all the stuff that's done so far that I'll get into the code. Um, and the cool thing about this is this is scalable. And that's what I like about this methodology. This is scalable. And it doesn't need a very crazy model because it has a lot of structure in the in the coding. I'm not just telling OpenAI to make me a whole entire project. You get me? You get me? Let's see. Just learned to code. They've been saying the same thing, replacing software for like 3 years, 30 years. It's not just about learning to code though. It's about just finding a way to get results. That's it. It's by any means. It's just about learning how things work to get results. And don't fetishize anything. Like some people fetishize like the design to some extent. Some people fetishize the low level. It's all just new abstractions. Yeah, MT40 40401 is right there. It's like these are all abstractions. Like when you're reading a white paper and people are saying terminology that you don't understand, I often find it's better to look at it as they're just making abstractions to talk about concepts that have always meant the same thing forever. Like people say, calculus was invented, hundreds of years ago. It's like, okay, sure. But calculus has always existed. They just found the right abstractions. They found the right way to communicate these ideas. The same thing goes for learning to code and blah, 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 blah. Coding is just what people need to do to make software. You know, if you want to make software, you'll figure out a way to make software. But you got to look at the why of what you're doing because those are the laws and those things never change. Um, Sorry, late here. What package model are you demoing? So I'm not really demoing anything. I'm going to show you how this works, but we're experimenting with AI software engineering. This is a thing I built. It's not like done, but like it kind of works. It works enough for projects I'm working on now. It's like a bootstrapping tool I made this past week or so. Um, but I'm talking through the methodology for what I like to call a test driven. Well, I didn't invent test driven development, but like test driven AI software engineering. Let's talk about that. So, but does that make sense when it's like you're exactly right, MT401. It's all about the abstractions. You kind of get what I'm saying? So, we generate the documentation for the task. And the documentation doesn't need to be comprehensive, but it needs to outline all the requirements. Because really, we're doing fancy prompt engineering. So we need to define everything we need. Okay, so actually, before we generate the tests, I believe I generate the folder structure for the project, right? So I generate what the project it will look like, and that's very important later on. And I generate comprehensive tests. These are just unit tests for now. Because really, I'm kind of just bootstrapping the project. I think it's very good for educational reasons and just like, also like, once the tests work, it's good to just have a project that works. Another cool thing about this is which I can start working on today. I haven't gotten to this part yet on actually running Mocha. I'm doing Mocha, but actually running Mocha on a loop to fix the tests. Um, but Right. So we generate comprehensive unit tests. We store that, and for each test, we essentially have a dev loop where we're saying, what was it? Oh yeah, we create. My bad. So we create dev stacks. These are literally stacks, like the data structure, but they're stacks, a stack of requirements, and keep. And by the way, throughout all of this, as I'm generating code, I'm using ESLint in a loop to fix the tests. Not like fix them, but to fix the code just so I can eventually run all the code. Because so really, we give it structure. We have laws. We have the laws for how things work, and then the LLM catches up to the laws. I'm mostly saying this because I think this would be a very modularize each functionality, Jared. Yeah. Is that a question? Let's see. If this allows us to create products faster without a lot of hard time, I see a bright future where we can materialize our ideas faster. The end goal is the matrix. The end goal, there's no end goal. Sometimes it's just good to ride the wave and have really good intentions. Um, API calls during compiling feels really wrong though. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the thing you're doing? Yeah. It's so funny, man. I was thinking that exactly when I was building this. Like this feels so wrong. Because no matrix, please. I like Ray Will's here. All right, so we have these dev stacks. So it's really just requirements. So I literally have strings of all the requirements needed for this unit test. Um, and by the way, I don't know. I'm gonna try to run it, but I'll be like just coding, and after I run through this and I run through the code, um, we can just chill and all that, and I'll just be fixing it up and everything. I'm gonna hopefully use this as a component to a bigger project I have, but also I just think this is interesting. This is an interesting idea, and I think this type of stuff. I think because when I started running this real quick, it's pretty fast when it actually works. And I was thinking like if I like I think this is pretty smart the way I set it up here. And the reason why I'm using Go is because you can do all this in concurrently, and I'm doing it here. Um, and this is the concurrent process here. Um, so I create dev stacks, which is just a stack of requirements, and I so here's how it works. Each unit test gets created. For each unit test, I'll show it in a sec, but for each unit test, at at the same time, essentially. I mean, it's not parallel, but it doesn't really need to be. Um, well, actually, I don't want this to be parallel, actually, but at the same time, there's a worker for each test. It doesn't need to be for each test, but I'm doing it for each test now. It can be just n workers, and as the workers, they pop off a requirement and then they code it. They find the file and they lock it. You know, there's a lock mechanism. Uh, but as they lock the file, write the feature for the requirement into the code, and then that requirement gets put into like a finished bucket. And as it keeps, so that's, let me actually write that. So pop a requirement, lock file, code it, unlock. Um, and then channel to test. So to lint test. This is kind of an option. I just after it does all this, it'll lock it after that. After it does that, it'll like lint it and shit. Um, but either way, so it pops a requirement, locks a file, codes it into the file. And remember, the structure was built before this, and that's pretty much it. But here, before it gets a requirement, or as it gets a requirement, it checks if this requirement was fulfilled with an LLM. So it makes another request to say, hey, based on all these requirements, did I already do this requirement? Because the thing about LLMs is it can like say the same thing in many ways. Anyway, so this dev loop is happening for each test, dev stack. And really, after all this is done, it's finished writing all of it. And then there's going to be another loop, which this is all the part that's like quote unquote done up to here. I didn't get this part done where I actually like run and fix the tests. So it's the actual like, well, this part's cool, but this is more so the part that's like the magic. To run and fix the tests. Either way, so there's a couple like whenever I look at projects like this, that's why I'm always experimenting, because I like to kind of take a step back with ideas. There's a lot of flaws here. There's a lot of cool stuff, but one flaw is the tests in the beginning. In that, one problem with the way the structure is I go really far in to assuming these tests are laws. So really, if this was going to be built into like a tool, like a Devin like tool, or something like that, I hope Devin has this, where if they do test driven development, really just check with the user if the tests are good. Like this is like if you're actually making this, because these are the laws, right? And everything else is catching up to these laws. And then we run and fix the test. So let me get into the code a little bit. What are we saying? Yeah, no matrix. It's my first time using Go. Well, semi first time using Go. Okay, so really this is kind of so let me actually run it first. So let's say I have yeah, so a CLI tool for processing a video URL and cutting the first 30 seconds of the video. Let me get rid of these log files. Let's get rid of these logs. See, cool. So I just realized, when's the last time I compiled this? Oh well. There's a chance that it's been a while since I actually compiled this. Since you're writing all these plans, are you gonna do a prompt like write the plan, write the first step, and so on? What do you mean? While that's running, let me get to the code here. Okay. So really, you see, I have this like generate docs. This is pretty basic. When the generate docs, why is that taking so long? Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, by the way, I'm using AnyScale. AnyScale has been very good. Highly suggested. I've been using it over RunPod. It's been so cheap. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So now it generated the docs. It generated the files. And now it initialized the project. It's running npm in the project. We have a project directory with all the files. Now it's installing. I need ESLint because I lint, and I have a test loop where I lint and fix everything. It's all happening concurrently, which makes it so much faster. Having workers. So these are all the tests. I think I have something to only render the first 5 for testing. So this is I'm making an app, or this is a web app where but this isn't gonna like work. I'm pretty sure. It'd be cool if it did, but like it's just gonna get code that is pretty. It's not really integrated much. So I get these dev stacks. So the dev stack is each requirement for each test. So here it sets up a server. So like the reason why I check if tests are have already been implemented, because I bet most of the tests have this problem right here. Oh, it's like logging a ton of shit. Yeah, I mostly have log files for the logs. But yeah, let's get into the code. So now it's like actually, so let's actually look at what the tests are. This is a test right here. This one passed linting. So it actually, and here's another cool thing. Oh, so this is an error right here. This video processor file doesn't exist. You know what I need to do? I need to make it so the unit test generation has the folder structure. So that's an issue. Yeah, that's an issue. Yeah. And also some of these are using chai. This one is good. This one's good. Interesting. Yeah. I need to, so that's something I can do. Um, all right, cool. So, but now it's just looping and like trying to fix these tests. Uh, Golang is really fun. I've been really enjoying Golang. This see you, Michael. Let's see. Cutting up the plan for ChatGPT to make or using what model is it querying? Oh, I'm using Mixtral. Did I say that in the title? I'm using Mixtral. I need to be very clear. Yeah, I'm using Mixtral here. But yeah, let me show you the code. This might take a sec. This might take a sec. Shouldn't it's only because of my network. If my network wasn't good, it's actually pretty fast. But anyway, so let's actually get into the code. So really, you guys have seen me do this. I have like a little prompt store here. This isn't like this is I just have all my prompts in here. It's not really anything. Oh, it's done. Oh, nice. Okay. Here's one thing. It's not like none of this like works. But I will say this works right here, technically. So here's another thing. So a couple things I need to do. I need to make sure this doesn't happen. I need to be very clear that I need this to be integrated with the actual requests and responses and not to use the test data. So this is cool that it actually like wrote classes and stuff. That's cool. Let's see. Oh, you know what's really cool? This worked. That's very cool. So like this didn't, but it actually, so when I gave it the structure of the code, I and I export it, or the structure of the folder, it actually knew to name everything right. And all the tests, I believe I have the tests are all in the same context window. If not, then I can change that. But this function actually worked right here. Or it's the same name of the function. So that's integrated properly. And it runs ff probe. So that's a requirement. Um, and then process video. So this is the, hold on. This did not work because, yeah, it only has a cut video. Whatever. There's a big problem here is the tests are weak because I didn't I need to really ensure that the tests at least are in the same context window, which is fine because the tests shouldn't be a lot of text. Um, and I need to is reverse engineering Chinese Android apps illegal? Reverse engineering isn't illegal. You know what's illegal? Uh, when you start prancing around about stuff, your hacks. That's when things get illegal. Okay, any scale hasn't given me access yet. Tomorrow they're gonna give me. Um, okay. Wait, how do you not have access? There wasn't like a process to get access. Um, let's see, mustache. So no, Travis, Mixtral. I'm using Mixtral. It is outputting JSON. Let me actually show that. Let me show. So this is how I'm interfacing with the. Where should I start? Okay, so I have a little inference client here, which is just like, I don't know, it's just like a. It's real. This is just an interface, not a literal interface, but this is just an interface for whatever API I'm using. The cool thing about the setup for OpenAI and Grok, which not GROQ, not GROK. But the cool thing about all the completions APIs, they all use the same API as OpenAI, so I can have the same structs for each of them. And I have this interface client. I just return a pointer to the client, and then I use that wherever I want to use it. This has been a pretty nice setup so far. Here's where things get weird, because whenever you're dealing with probabilistic shit, uh, you have to do this. You have to do some recursion. I mean, not every time you do anything, but when it comes to this LLM agent stuff, you're gonna have to be. There's gonna be a lot of failures. Like, let's look in the logs for each build agent. A build agent is a worker for a test. So in my code base here, when I have a worker for a test, I call that a build agent, right? So for each build agent, I have a log here. Let's see if anything failed. Let's see, file not locked. Wow, this is a lot. This one was, oh yeah, and the files get locked whenever one build agent is working on a feature. So the problem with that, and one reason why this one took it took under a minute, I think. But the reason why this one took a little longer, it should just be like 30 seconds or something. But it was because I only had like 3 files here, really, not including package.json. So they're all just like, there's like what, 7 build agents, and the 7 build agents are all like working on the same 3 files. So they have to keep locking, and so you get into this kind of gridlock scenario, which is fine. It's just really slower. Um, because it's like there's not so much. So really, so a couple of things I gotta do is, well, first let me finish explaining here. So in this function where I run inference, I just make a post request to the server, and then if it fails, I run it again, and I have a max amount of attempts, yada yada. Some of these I require JSON output, and I have a little methodology for getting JSON output from Mixtral, and that's been working really well for most models. It's not perfect. I didn't want to do the whole like, what's it called? Like the method for kind of defining a language, and then you define the JSON language. I didn't want to do that because it felt a little clunky. If anyone has had experience with that, that's positive, let me know. But this is how I've been ensuring JSON output is this markdown. I don't know if you can tell, but because I'm like appending a lot of strings here, but I'm just saying like I'm saying start the markdown for Java. Oh, this is JavaScript. This is how I've been doing, ensuring JavaScript output. But for JSON, I've been like start the JSON. I saw this on a Reddit thread where someone did this. I'm like start the JSON, and then it just does the JSON, and then I use the end token as the end markdown end code token. So I just have a stop token, and then like that's been working really well, actually. I'll be honest. Yeah, and I also tell it the desired JSON, right? The project structure looks solid. I like how you structure the logs too instead of one big file. Yeah, yeah. I love having so these are I actually, let me show you how I do the logging. This is the dev stacks. I'm gonna run through the project a little bit because I think just to show people like a good project structure. None of it's perfect, and also I'm new to Go. It's my first like I've done Go for like an interview before, but like it's my first time like actually using it. But I feel I like it, and I think I set things up in a way that feels good for me here. But um, let me show the logging real quick. This is the best way if you use Go and you have a better way of logging when you have these a ton of Go routine or a ton of these aren't even I'm using Go routines for the linting, which is commented out here, but I'm just using where is it? The build agent. Here I'm just using the weight groups plus I have like I just have a loop running through the stack in these weight groups. But either way, this is how I've been logging is I just have a Go routine that just logged to the file. And you may be like, oh, that might cause like a standard output issue or like a racy standard output issue. I don't care too much for having racy logs here. I really don't. Um, and that's something that's like a bullet I'm willing to bite here. Like I don't care. Like let's look at this file. Like this is all in order, but some of these might not be in order, and I don't really care. I just want the logs to happen so I can debug. And I have timestamps for the logs just in case any foolery happens. Um, but either way, I can run through what these build agents are doing. This is the file for the actual worker that's looking at the test and running all the requirements. And the requirements are stored in this stack, which it's just a basic stack. And I didn't do the fix agent yet. So the dev manager, this is the part where that isn't great. You can tell because it's like a 400 and something line file. Um, this is where all the magic happens. uh, but either way, it does work. So here I have some Go routines to build the did I say I wasn't doing Go routines for it? What I meant to say is I wasn't using channels. Because I didn't find a good way to use a try lock mutex with channels here. I have one that's made with channels here, which is this is ChatGPT. I just told ChatGPT to make this for me. This part's I was like ChatGPT just make this for me. Um, let's see. Do you query the APIs directly or do you use LangChain? Yeah, yeah, this is all custom. Yeah, I don't think I'm using any libraries for this. I didn't install anything. Um, but let's see. So yeah, so when I build the dev stack, so I get each test, I essentially loop through the test, and I do file read. So I actually don't really store the test's content in memory. I just have it in the file, and then I have the index for the test file here. So I'm reading files a lot, which is fine because everything like the only time I'm really um, bouncing around the same files is when I'm running the build agents. So a couple reasons why I set it up like this with all this concurrency and Go routine magic is because one, it's fun, but two, it's just so much faster when you and I found this with a lot of projects with scale is when you really think about how you can do do IO and leverage IO as much as you can with highly concurrent workers and have a really good like mutex system, have a really good system for locking files and stuff like that. I think you can really scale it out. And with stuff like this, the more, especially with this LLM agent stuff, I think you can really not use like not a lot of GPU and inference not as much when you actually have things working on like a lot of smaller components and then communicating with each other um, rather than just throwing everything at the AI because that was like this was a very week what's it called? Demo showing you this file because it was like only 3 files here, but it got the functionality there, quote unquote. Um, like I said, I need to make sure it actually integrates it. Um, but this should once I write the which I can work on a bit, but once I write on the work on the logic for actually executing the tests, it should fix that. But when you have like when you want to build a complex many filed project, um I don't think you it's really ever going to be smart to just toss the whole thing up to like a big LLM. I actually don't think you want that. I don't think that's robust. I don't think that'll ever be robust. Not just because of compute, because compute will always be optimized. And when you're thinking in the macro, things that'll always be optimized, you don't need to worry too much about engineering when it comes to it. So just let's see. Have you explored vector databases in your projects? Yeah, I've made vector DBs on these streams. Not for this one though. Artificial general intelligence models are lame. I want to build. I want model trained on particular data sets for higher accuracy. Well, you want it sounds like you want a model for a specific task. The idea of AGI is it doesn't matter. It's almost like the idea of AGI is like almost like the idea that think about it like this. If it took you 10 years to become if it took one person 10 years to become the best at an industry, would that even matter if you could take like 5 average people and have them work together to do whatever they need to do in a year or in 6 months or in 2 months? So it's like I get AGI because the idea is that like it almost doesn't matter if it's so fast at intelligence, it almost doesn't matter that it's not that smart. That is the bet. That is the bet because and I know some people may disagree, but you're saying artificial and general intelligence. Not you, Aditya, but people that talk about AGI. The bet is that eventually average intelligence will be um will be fine if it's general enough and if it's fast enough. Um because really there's not really a point in getting it to be like 110, 130, 50 IQ if you really think about it. There comes a point where it like won't matter. By the way, guys, Go is great. I've been like really nerdy out on Go in this project. I really like it. Um, I also like so this is a try lock mechanism that like they actually I think deprecated the one they had. So I told ChatGPT to make one with channels and it's been working pretty good. So it's like so I check if I can actually if it's there. I don't just do the operation and see if it's locked. Um, let's see. So let me I can get to coding. We can chill and I can get the coding stuff because I need to get to actually running tests. Which is this is the part I'm scared about. This is the part I'm scared about. Um, where should I have this built? I think it should be built here. Yeah, I think it should be built here. Where do I have the ESLint stuff? Right here. Okay. Fix file. So I already run a command in here for oh yeah. Also, you guys like how I have the command line in Sublime? You guys like that? I I what's my shortcut? Yeah, A Z Alt 0. I always avoid it, but recently I've been like, screw it. Like, screw it. Because I'm just so used to having two that I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool having just one here. Yeah, agreed. I think agents in concert working with highly specific code generating tools are probably best. The LLM shouldn't be perfect coders. They should be able to use deterministic tools. Exactly. Exactly, Travis. It's like you have these like agents. It's cool to do the stochastic stuff where you're kind of catching up to specific specifications. That's cool. Um, but but having it actually generate code, I don't think is as smart. I think what I'm doing is personally, I think if someone was actually going to spend like time on this, I think this is a better way to do it if you're going to actually generate code. What I think is really cool isn't even generating code, but because most code since object oriented programming, most code has been just so modular that and also just single use that I think you can get away. I think what the real AI software engineer automation people should be really worried about is is a company like Meta or whatever company, doesn't matter what company, they invest in writing the most modular, componentized code base. Doesn't matter what it's in. Doesn't matter if it's Node or C. It doesn't matter. But the most like plug and play modular code base, functional code base, and then you just each code item is just a token. And then you have tokens that are functional tokens. You guys kind of know what I mean? So like that's what actually, because it doesn't matter like literally generating code. What I'm saying is you close the feature space, like you make the data just enriched. That's what really matters. So that's actually I'm doing that on the project, my secret project. Okay, I'm doing stuff like that. But like what I'm saying is rather than having tokens, it's like literally, you know, writing function name, blah blah blah. Like think about how many tokens that is. Blah blah blah. You know, comment for what it's like we're optimizing this like how many tokens, that's a ton of tokens. Maybe I have token for function name, then I have a compose token with greater, and you can say, oh well, that's a lot of coding. It's like maybe, but if let's say you have a code base with like 1,000 files, and in each file you have, let's make this bigger. Hope you guys know what I'm talking about because this is I think this stuff really is where yeah you want to worry about your jobs. This is what's gonna save your jobs. Let's say you have 1,000 files in a code base. Then you have each file has on average 50 functions. Let's just be that like methods. Functions is better. So you have 50 functions. Let's be as I understand not all code is functions, but maybe you could take the leap in saying that the things you're thinking aren't functions could technically become functions. Okay. Um, so what? That's like it's a lot. That's all 50,000. That's a lot of um functions, right? 50,000 functions. So you could have a model. So you could train. So let's say you're a company with 50,000 functions. What to do? How to automate this? I'm breaking down how your job will be automated away. So it's like, think about it. So if I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, that's a lot of data. There comes a point when like I'll just make the leap of faith and say 90% of the future code you will write will be based on these 50,000 functions. So my thought is, so you can say, okay, use these functions, label, and use these functions as a data set. This is option 1. Label and use these functions as a data set to fine tune an AI model. Okay, to fine tune Llama 3 to and plug it into Devin. That's option 1. And I'm like, that's an option that I bet you a lot of companies are thinking about. Right? That's why it's like the future really is microservices and like hyper modular componentized code. And when I say component, I don't mean React components. I mean the fact that I have just a build agent struct here, and that's all it is. All right, this is just the build agent. Then I have an execute method that executes it. I have a method to, you don't understand fully what's going on here because I didn't talk about it yet, but it's like I have a log method. This is just one method that is a log that logs for the, it's just one function, right? So option 2 is what I'm saying is like, I think it's kind of dumb to just like, if 90% of your code is just based on these 50K functions, why get into the territory where you need the LLM to be creative within the function? Why not just have a higher order LLM, which is trained on tokens representing each function and how to use them? So you have tokens that represent the function name, and then so you have the function tokens, and this is like a separate transformer. Because it's all about the context. It really is about the context window and what you can get away with when it comes to parallelizing your batches. Because you could say like, I mean, you get it, parallelizing your batches. I don't have to be more specific, but so like it really is about it. Because you could say, oh, it doesn't matter because eventually compute doesn't matter. It's like, okay, but compute will matter. I promise you, because if everyone does it this way, then you don't even need like an API, or you don't need like a GPT-4 or something like that. So you can have function tokens that are the function name, and then you're like, okay, but that's not it. Well, you can also have like use tokens, which are like in class, sub, super class. You get what I'm saying? And then whatever's previous to it. And then you could say like compose. You can even say like higher order. You kind of get what I'm saying, where it's like you could say like, oh, function name compose function name. Dude, I really hope people know what I'm talking about. But like, so you use this as the data set. You already have the code written. Why do you need to train an LLM to learn coding? Because think about it. Here, it just needs to learn the associations between the words, which is what transformers are for. The key query, the key query value thing is optimized for this. Okay, it's not optimized for Go code. All right, it was made for language, things where it's linear, autoregressive. So like so what I'm saying is like most code isn't novel. 90% of code is just like you have like an API method, you have like CRUD stuff, you have like config stuff, you have boilerplate stuff, you're writing your routes, you're writing your you have like your what's it called, your unit tests, your integration tests, all that. Like 90% of the code's that. What I can say is, oh, so the data set is like, and you can have these data sets associated with your tickets too. So you could have like the description of the ticket, which was like write a unit test for adding a profile, and then you could say, oh, we used, test function one compose, like, you kind of get what I'm saying, like, and it doesn't, and by the way, this is a very crude, uh or we could say like extends, because there's a problem with this, is that you're thinking of it, you may be thinking about what I'm saying with a clunky code base. I'm saying like modular, and like I'm saying like you don't, like, in order for this to work, functions can't be more than two lines of code. They can't be more than maybe three lines of code. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, like you need to really get nitty gritty. It needs to be really nitty gritty, because what it's missing is there's no context to what text function one is, but the context is how it's used. And the more modular you make your functions, the more highly used they'll be. You get what I'm saying? Um, by the way, this, what I'm saying has been used in research for a lot of things. Transformers have been used for things like this, where it's like this social media profile did this action, they liked this thing, and like being a token and all that, right? That's like there's a Google research thing that's like that, that a buddy of mine was telling me about, that was like way before a Google research project. And it was like I promise you, this is stuff that's being used. I mean, I won't promise, but like some people that have been working on things on the back end have been thinking of these concepts, or behind enemy lines. Not even, so basically, let's see, wait, hold on. 50,000 function is nothing. I built a RAG app with 40 million tokens. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm saying functions in the code base, Aditya, though. But yeah. Uh, but with that high of abstraction, then you lose the copyright obfuscation that all AI companies love. Well, then you're just, so at this point, you know what's even crazier? What if it's so modular that you could deploy NPM packages for like 1,000 or 10, like 10, 100,000 NPM packages for everything you'd need for any Web 2.0 app? You're getting it, and it's highly interoperable. All right, so this is the shit I'm thinking. So okay, think you have a highly, like, crazy, you have like Unix system level interoperability push to NPM, like, and it's like all made by one in source. So like, uh so they know how it's done. So you have all that pushed. You could literally just have NPM. You could build any project with just NPM, not any, but most projects with just NPM modules in an LLM. Just like telling an LLM how to use what, like, combination of NPM modules. You could do that. Um, Compute will matter, right? Because what if the model that can no, compute matters. No, what I'm saying is, like, if you do things smart like this on the engineering front, then the compute game can catch up to the engineering rather than vice versa. Then you can engineer first and be novel, rather than just like oh, whoever Nvidia invests in is the winner, right? So here's things like this can flip power. Uh, Majority LLMs are using transformers. Yeah. Um, no. LLMs don't use CNNs, Aditya. Would extremely narrow types work better than two-line functions? That's interesting, Lucas. So you're saying do it with types? You may have to. The problem with types is that I don't think you can use types linearly. Um, because really this is autoregressive problem. LLMs or they solve an autoregressive problem. That's really fascinating though. I need to think about that. Whether like a type framework here would work. I don't know. That's actually really cool though. Um, yeah, because you could just do this with types, I think. But I haven't thought about that. I have to read the research paper. Yeah, please, indeed, yeah. If you're in this space right now, you shouldn't be asking whether LLMs are in CNNs. Indeed, yeah. If you're using RAGs, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm being real for your career. If you're using RAGs and talking about it, you need to really know that LLMs aren't I mean, there might be some, but their transformers is the model that's being used for it. You can reduce the LLM's token choice from 50K to substantially smaller using type analysis filtering. Oh, can just bobbing around. Can you talk about that a little bit more? Because that's interesting. Because if you can actually filter away, I guess like some unnecessary functions, that could be cool. But then again, like whatever this is, you'll have to at least have a coding layer. Cause and also the cool thing about this is if this is used well enough, you'll still need software engineers. You know what I mean? I think stuff like this is I think stuff like this is like is the shit, you know? Stuff like this is the shit. Any questions? Anyone I don't have any questions. I'm gonna start eh, yeah, let me play around with some of this stuff. What was I doing? Well, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. Talking through some ideas. Talking through some ideas. I think, by the way, what I just broke down, hey, that's free. All right? That's free. That's free. Any VCs out there? You give me I'm the best position to you can see on my YouTube, I'm the best position to build what I just said. If if I if I built that, you would be in immediate competition with OpenAI and Dev and Cognition Labs and all these people within 3 months. But right now, I don't have time for that. I will today. It's on my list. Functions are types though. Oh yeah, that's how tree sitter works. Oh yeah, they are types. That's a good point. Wait, that's a good yeah, that's really cool. I don't think the LLMs has to have any understanding of code. It only needs to be able to use code generators. Maybe at most the LLM need to generate GraphQL schemas. Um, it does need to have understanding of code based on the way people are using it now, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, like, yeah, like they definitely need to know code. That's the whole thing. That's why code LLMs are being benchmarked on human eval right now. They do need to understand code. I don't think with this method they do. Um, they need to just understand the system. It's like right now LLMs are being bogged down by the midwittery of linear thinking. It's like we're teaching LLMs to be really good at just like getting into these like specific linear problems. The system is where it's at. The system's where it's at. And you can in systems the way transformers are trained right now is far better for systems because it's how English works. English is a system. Like these are trained for these were built for machine translation. Um, okay, cool. So finished. All right. So let me see if I can first set this up in the fix tests. Fix code. Fix code. What should I call this? Run loop. Run tests. I'll just say run tests. Doesn't matter. I don't even think about it too much. One thing I have been doing like an error return here, only because I've just seen that as a convention. If anyone's in Go or does Go a lot, I've seen this as a convention in Go. Just always like for most of your business logic stuff, returning errors. I'm not used to always doing that. You can use code generators today to build out huge, well-structured boilerplate projects that you sprinkle in small sets of business logic. Maybe I should make a demo of this. Oh yeah, you can definitely use code generators for that. Yeah. Okay, so how should this work? So really I need to set this up like the fix file function I have. Actually, no, let me go to run ESLint. Let's see. Honestly, I'm just gonna. I need to have a. I'm gonna move this all to another file, but I'm gonna get it working first now. Run mocha test index int. Okay. So let's see whether, oh, I didn't install mocha in here, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't do that. So I need to make sure I'm always installing mocha. So if you don't know mocha, mocha is a test framework. How's everyone doing with jobs? How's everyone doing with jobs? Is everyone doing okay? Is everyone okay with jobs? Let's see. So I can just do this. Is everyone okay with jobs? Because I feel like the tech industry is not doing great, right, with jobs. It's a very cool project you're working on. I always enjoy your streams. I'll catch up on this. Yeah, yeah. I'll see you, Travis. Thank you. Yeah, just bobbing around. Can we actually talk about? Because I feel like most beautiful program ever written. Oh, can you post that? Um, just so I don't forget. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you post that in the Discord? Because I really like that's actually interesting. I never functions as types. It's really fascinating because there's I think there's a lot of potential because there so what I'm saying here is kind of like a rough paradigm. I think whatever the features are, like we really need to break if we really want to get this go working well, we really need to get past the idea of tokens of a coding language, like the actual like the BPE tokens here literally being like English. And I know some people are actually making it like what the bits are, and that's fine. That's super optimized, but code really isn't just what the language is doing, it's how it's used. That's why I think the first like big advent in code generation, LLM code generation, has been naming functions because that's like the strongest pattern. The strongest pattern is what the code's doing. I think we're wasting our time generating code. And by the way, this whole project is generating code. But this is just an experimental project. I'm using this to just play with ideas, but I think we can just do so much better. The guy generates valid code without any AI, just functional type analysis. Really? Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Devin is cool, but targeted towards who doesn't seem like a tool, neither liking the. But yeah, Devin's cool. I don't know. It's really it's just a demo, guys. Anything's possible, man. Anything's possible. When I see something like Devin, I see crushers trying to get something done. But it's all about your intention. Like if you want to make something so people can make great things and beautiful software, then you'll do it. If you just want to automate jobs, then you'll do that. But you can't have everything. You only have the thing you intend to do. I rejected one offer last week hoping for better interview. Okay, nice. Oh yeah? I think rejecting an offer, at least you're in a strong position. Okay. So just install that package. So now I need to yeah, this code file's too big. I'm just gonna move this to I have a fix agent folder. So I have my build agents, the build agents run the tests, and now I'm gonna have the fix agents. Say FA. Run tests. Let's just say execute. And it's going to be on each test. Yeah, right. There's a better way I can do this. Because I'm kind of just having like the build agents, a worker per test for the build agent, and then a worker per test for the fix agents. And a lot of them are kind of doing the same logic. So I really can abstract it out a little more and have just like a test agent. And then I can have a build test agent and then a fix test agent. Because they both do the same thing. Let's see how hard is that going to be? Because by the way, this isn't like too serious of a project. How is that going to be? So this gets the requirements. Ugh. These do a lot of different things. This entire execute function is going to be different for the fix agent. Anyone do Go here, by the way? I like Go. More of a Python, JavaScript guy, but Go's been very fun. Let me know if I'm doing anything wrong in Go, though. Let's see. I rejected calls. Remember, I asked for help on Discord for take home project. I had that interview on the 21st. Oh yeah? How'd the project go? There's like a ton of people from the Twitter, I think. If you're on Twitter, you need to say some shit. Get out, get out of the box. Go to if you're on Twitter, go to the YouTube. What are you doing? Just go to the YouTube. Hang out with everyone in the chat on the YouTube. Sorry, I'm not mad. It's just like, what are you doing? we're all on the YouTube. You're in the land of the crazies. All right. Isn't coding fun? You guys don't understand. With the project, with that methodology I just pitched, you, we will need software engineers for that. Because the idea is it's manipulating human code. It'll still take jobs. Oh, well, you bet your ass it'll still take jobs. But you will have new types of developers. Okay. Give me money. I can build it 3 months. Give me 3 months. I know the best guys, all right? The project I made was quite messy, but it works. So I don't know. If it works, it works. Projects that work, that's what matters. That's what matters. I think I need, what else do I need in here? I'm still like learning all the packages in here. I need OS exec. This is what I use to actually run the command. I'm just running a mocha test here, and then I just have, I get the output. I still need the output. I'm naming it something different here. I do still need the output. This is returning. This doesn't print the thing. I think it returns string and an error. Yeah. Yeah, it's a string and an error. I'm returning the value. Okay. So this should be mocha. Let me just see what's in the binary file. So I want to see if when you install mocha, if it ends up in the .bin folder by default, so I can just run it directly. So what's happening is when I'm generating the code base, I install ESLint and mocha to do, so I'm triggering, yep, it's right here. But so I'm triggering things to install these packages, and then I use, oh, you know what? I need to make a static variable for that, I'm running the scripts from within I'm running the generated binaries from the code directly. And I'm just executing the command. Let's see. Matthew made me try Go. Yeah. I haven't had a reason to use it again since I'm glad you and Matthew are friends. You guys are building, right? It's a good language though. It's what C++ could have been. Yeah, man. It is, I mean, it's, what you mean is that it's not object oriented. You just mean it's not object oriented. Well, I guess, no, actually, it's not object oriented. Let's see. So, does anyone like C? Yeah, a lot of people like C++. I don't need project dir in here. Let's say mocha dir. So what's the file path? Okay, yeah. So I need to pass in the file path. Oh, you know what? Let's go. These values aren't great. Once I clean things up, I'm gonna just make sure I have variables for this, because this is like, it's a CLI tool, so this should be dynamic right here. Okay, so, oh, this is the project folder. Let's go to the dev manager. Yeah, string conversion. Yeah, yeah, I want this. And then I can string conversion. Okay. All right. So we're going to get the file path. What is the test file path? So this is the path to the test, and we're going to be running mocha on a loop to run the test. And we're going to be doing that, and that should work. So now it's running the test in this function, which should just work the same as I have the ESLint function. So really, in the exec, we need to do something pretty similar to the build agent, actually. Oh, but I need ooh, this agent log's weird. Yeah, I'm gonna just put this in my yeah, let's just do agent log. I'm gonna just put this in the utils. I forgot, is this void? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's go to what were we saying? My first language was C++. I feel like most people's first languages was C++. That was my first. No, no, my first wasn't C++. My first language was Python. Yeah. Yeah, it was Python, then C++, C++, and PHP. Well, JavaScript is just always there because I was always just doing web stuff. Let's see. I would, if object extends struct instead of being their own thing, you would use C++ if objects extended structs instead of being their own thing, classes. Are you saying you would use C++? Oh no, you would like C++ if it was that case. Well, then what you're saying is just kind of like Go, or like a more of a Go way of doing things. Okay, so I need to change all these. You guys can finally see me go through compilation logs. One of the cool things about using higher level languages is it's better to like stream with it. Not just stream, but it's better to kind of just do stuff and not have to worry about anything. But this is a high level language. The cool thing about Go is it's still a high level language, but you get the functionality you needed to have high performance software. That's what I like. Channels was really nice, and Go routines. To do like, let's walk through one of the Go routine or one of the weight group Go routines that I have here. Where do I run it? I think I run it in the dev manager. Yeah. So what I'm doing here is I have a list of these stacks, and then I run what I call a build agent, but it's really just a worker for each of these that runs the stack, and it does a bunch of stuff with the stack. And they communicate with each other through this. It's like a sync slice. This itself is a struct that, I mean, a slice. Well, it's a struct that operates a slice that is used. This has its own mutex in order to share requirements. But the cool thing about this is they have this weight group. I'm like saying this like I fucking use Go, but they have these weight groups so you can synchronize the process concurrently, which is nice because and also I run the weight down here. So really all I need to do is get the weight group, pass the pointer to this function here, which I do stuff. I add the counter, and then when I run the done, it decreases the counter. And I just need to make sure, just so I don't get into any racy shit or any like locking shit, I just need to make sure I'm controlling this counter just so that I don't so that there's control in the system. So I just make sure this counter needs to be perfectly added and incremented and decremented. But once I get that done, this is all you need to write like highly concurrent code here. And if I want it, and I have a little code down here, I think this is not working right now. But I have a channel in each of these Go routines that tosses which file needs to get linted as they get written. And then this is just happening on a different thread. So you have like, I mean, if you have like my computer is not so much. If you have a computer with a ton of write capacity, you can really get things going here. I mean, right here, my computer like shit. But by the way, this isn't like crazy. This is actually super simple. The problem with if I did this in Python, it would be like disgusting. Ah, dude, I should tell ChatGPT to rewrite this in Python. Hold on a second. Just so you guys can kind of see why I chose Go for this. Let's see. Oh, see it just bobbing around. Rewrite this in Python. All right. See, you see? You see this? Okay, so they're using the threading library. Let's see if this is actually, and then they create the thread, and they have a while loop that they have a while, in order for them to rewrite this, they had a while true loop. Actually, how do they, and they run each of these, so on a thread, they're just running, it's fine, it's a while true, but like, and to be fair, they don't know that that's not smart to do here because I just told this to run this. But they have a while true that's that's running on each thread. Like there's nothing's accounting for this. The cool thing about let's see, I like how it actually named it WG here. That's cool. Uh it's kind of silly, but like the cool thing about the um the weight group is that you can increment and decrement, and that's how you're kind of like managing these threads or these workers. Here, they have a while loop and then they just break out of the loop if you can't get anything more in the queue. There's no control there, or the control is just in the producer. So you have a consumer that is fully, its existence is fully controlled by the queue that it's getting from its producer, and it's like, uh, pretty sure that's not gonna always work. Because what happens if one of these producers fails, and you could say, oh, okay, well, you could just use that signal, and then the consumer can get that signal. It's like that'd be nice, you know. That's not how life works all the time. But to be fair, like you could say, okay, ChatGPT just didn't code this right. Nah, this is probably how you do it. Okay, so let's go and How long am I on here? 140. Okay. Let's go to prompt store. Where am I at? Fix agent. Yeah. Fix agent, execute. The point is, it's not as safe if you do it in Python. Not as safe. So here I actually don't. So what happens is the way this loop works is first we have to run the mocha test. Run mocha test. And we're gonna have the test index get passed here, and we just passed it here. Then we're gonna get the results. Let's see. Result in the error. And say if error is not equal to nil. Let's see. Run test error. I could use the agent log, but let's not do that now. Let's not do that yet. Okay. Either way, we could say if we need to check if the result is empty. So if the result length is greater than 0, then we have an error. Wait, actually, I don't know how these mocha tests run. No, that's not how these run. Ooh, I gotta get smart. Hold on a sec. I need to see how to test these. So I need to go into node modules. I need to run this test. I need to say okay. It's gonna error out. Yeah, it's gonna error out. Yeah, because it can't find the module. Which one is one of these is it actually? Okay, this one it actually ran, and it just said 0 passing. So I need to find a way to read the standard output to detect if it passed or not automatically. So I could say, give me whatever's the passing and give me whatever's the failing. And if the numbers are the same, so if 0 is the same as 2, then get it to go. But I don't know. Let's see. So require sort allow uncaught check leaks. Yeah, I can do it. Oh, whoops. How do I get the right logs? I can detect what is green. Let's see. Recursive sort ignore files extension full trace. Ooh, I think this is what I want. I gotta get the right logs that I can parse here. No, that's not it. Ignore, exclude, extension. I may have to get fancy here. I really don't want to do that. Fail 0. Parallel. What's this? Triz, am I running this right? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, I am running it right. Okay. One thing I can do is I can just keep running it because it seems like no matter what, I just need to give it the output. I gotta see what it looks like when they just all pass. Like what happens when this passes? Oh, what happens when I just do done for both of these? Oh shit. Deleted too many. Yeah, what happens when I do done for all of for both of these? This is coding, dude. This is it. Okay. Okay. So there's just okay, so there's no red. So I can let me check if there's green. I think I know how to do it. I need to check if there's green in terminal output. I forgot what the color is called. Yeah, the color code. I forgot what that was called. No way. No. There's no way that's impossible. Come on. You kidding me? How to check if yeah, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT this shit. Screw Google. Has a color. I can even say in Golang. It's kind of a weird way of thing to ask, but hey, maybe it'll figure it out. What? Yeah, I just meant yeah, the escape codes or whatever. Check environment variables. No, 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 no. No, 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 that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Like I know the OS. I know the OS. You use the check. Hmm. It does have green. No, I know. Yeah, I know. What I mean is I need to check what the specific code is. I need to like, you know what I can do? I could just do this on my own. I can I can just render it. I mean, I can just log it. I can actually tell it to how to print standard out with ASCII code from an exec command in Golang. When you execute, you output, you get byte slices. If you want to print the output of the command, ensure it displays. Oh, I need to convert it to a string. Oh no, I'm already doing that. Is this gonna work? I think it's just gonna work if I print this. They're telling me to print it as a string. I'm already converting it to a string. Okay. I just realized I have to actually run this broken code to test this out. Okay, all right, that's fine. Doesn't matter. What we can do is we can just run the whole process again, and then I do need to do, I need something that says, let's see, error 4. I'll just say error 4. This is test project. And I could just use the final test count. I think I'm gonna need folder structure. This is the struct I have that has all the what's it called? The struct. Oh wait, yeah, this isn't written yet. But this is the struct I have that just has all of the files, the strings for the files, in order. Test count. And then folder structure. Folder structure. Return an error. Okay, so for now, I'm just gonna loop through the test count. Wait, test count. I'm just gonna loop through this, and then I'm gonna do the same weight group thing. So let's see, that's how you do it, right? Yeah. Oh, I need to initialize for each of these. I need to initialize fix agent, which is the worker I'm getting for each of these. What do I pass to this? Oh, I just do that. Okay. I like that in Go you don't import shit. I like it. Or you get what I'm saying. You can, but when you're within a package, you're not importing. It's a better way to put it. Dot execute. Then what do I pass to this again? I just execute the test index, right? And then before I run this, I gotta increment. Just trying to remember stuff. Whenever I'm learning a new language, I always try to make sure I remember everything. I need to pass pointer to the weight group. And it's not like memorization, like, you know, actual memorization doesn't like matter. What I mean is more so getting to a place where you're thinking about what things mean as you're coding. I guess is a better way of putting it. Okay. And I do have to make sure though that I defer the weight group. And I like how they actually use defer here, because when you're working with like a lot of concurrency, it helps. When you're just doing a lot of thread stuff, it helps. Let's see. Let's print this out. Node. All right, let's go back. Let's go. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get my terminal in here. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy now. Gotta get your terminal in the editor. All right. It's not that much stuff. What? Oh, flip this around. Test count. Oh, I see. Test index. Yeah, let's just return nothing for now. Declare to never use. Yeah. Okay. This part doesn't matter. Okay, and then undefined time in utils. Oh, because I have the time. Right. Is that just time? Yeah. I'm using time for the log, right? Yeah, to get the time format. Dude, I like Go. It's actually very simple. It was probably the simplest like language to learn. Not that you like learn coding languages. You don't really learn coding languages. I'm really like it's not you don't just like have a moment where you just know. I'm back. What did I miss? Delv, I don't know. When'd you leave? I just talked about a ton of stuff. Now I'm just fixing up the code. I'm making it so I have like a loop where I use Mocha to run the tests. We got like all these people from Twitter. Like who the fuck are you people? It's like just dude, like hang out. Okay. I think I fixed everything. Okay. Oh wait. I need to in the build agent remove it. No, I already did. I already did. What? Oh. Time's not imported. Oh, I didn't save it. Okay. Let's go. Let's go is a funny thing to say. It's like the PC way to like say like, yeah, let's fucking do it. It's like you're on a team, but you can't like actually hype people up. So you're like, let's go. Let's see. Now it's installing. Okay, now it's gonna run everything again. I gotta just delete all this stuff. By the way, if you're using Sublime, it's two things you gotta get. You gotta get Terminus, and you gotta get LSP. And you gotta get the LSP server for the language you use. Main things you gotta get. Everything else, not as big of a deal. Main and like SSH server, you need that probably, depending on the work you're doing, but main things is LSP server and Terminus. Typically, it's probably first time using the terminal here, just because like, no, whenever I get a new machine, I just like I'm so like whenever I'll just jump into stuff without like setting things up. But it's probably the two most important packages for sure. Okay. So let's run this. How's everyone doing? How you doing, Will? How's life? Oh no, I just meant when I got this one. That's the, dude, that's how long it takes me to get my setup. I'm gonna get a new laptop soon. I do need one. Yeah, I got a Chrome. Yeah, dude, I only work on Chromebooks. You kidding me? Of course, yeah, Chromebooks. Oh, you thought I meant a MacBook? No. This is all just for show. I use Chromebooks. You're only 10x if you use Chromebooks. How's that good? Will, do you code? Like, Will, what do you do? I know Delve codes. I can't tell. Are you a normie or do you code? If you don't code and you're here, you're scum. Just kidding. You always gotta gatekeep anyone who doesn't, because if you don't code, like who are you at the end of the day? You know? Yes. Okay, that's good. Who are you? Okay. No, I ran the tests, I fixed the tests. I don't think any of the tests needs to get fixed. Now I'm getting the requirements for each test. And now we're running the code. Now we're running the code. Let's see. Oh God, it didn't. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter. It didn't. It didn't really like the folders. Folder structure didn't work. Well, there's an index.js, I guess, but it's just dang. I'm seeing it like write this stuff and rewrite it. You see this? You see how it's rewriting this? It had it right the first time. Man, I need to, you know what? I see what's going on here. Yeah, I see what's going on here. It's not rewriting it properly. I need to fix that prompt. It's like it's removing the previous code. That's a major issue with this. It's only rewriting it with the new feature. I needed to tell it to add the feature. That's crazy. Whatever. Let's fix that. Let's fix that prompt. So I need to go here. Yeah. So what am I saying? Why isn't it feature adding? Is to update here's the previous code you need to make an addition to. Yeah, it's not a rewrite. Yeah. Okay, is this done? We'll use a scratch. Well, you're super cagey about it. What do you code in? All right, let's see. Yeah, guys. If you don't code in Scratch, you're not 10x. When people say 10x, like people always think, oh, I gotta learn like all these new languages. No, you just need to learn Scratch. You just need to know really obscure shit in Scratch. Recently see. Nice, nice. Well, what are you building? Delv, what are you building? What's everybody building? Everybody, if you're here, talk about the stuff you're building. I've talked a lot about what I'm building. Come on, come on. You're building a game engine? Nice. Physics engine? Okay. Missing required arguments, input and output. Wait, what? Okay, so it ran, no, okay, it ran the files and then it logged the output. Okay, cool. But it didn't, okay. I need to also edit this so I don't run that whole entire thing every time I run this. Niche. Javi's like a niche corn generator. Jesus Christ. Javi's doing he's getting in the weeds. Right now I'm focused on math, so I haven't been coding much. Nice. Yeah, focus on the maths, dude. Yeah, you doing discrete math? To-do list? Nice. Del, why are you doing a to-do list? Let's see. You got stuff to do? Ha 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 ha. Fuck. Okay. Geometry and then linear algebra. Nice, nice. Okay, so first time with graphics programming. Wow, now you're doing graphics programming? Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Oh wow, it actually ran this command. That's awesome. Oh, this is like gonna work. Isn't it cool when you're working on something, you're like, oh, this is like probably gonna work. It did run the test, but I need to detect when they pass, man. How do I do that? I'm realizing I shouldn't detect the color in it. Not just because like I can keep going down that rabbit hole, but I think there's a better way to do it. Like I can look for past and I can get the number before past. The problem is there may be no, there may be past in the text of the error. I can look for carriage past or carriage tab past. Is that what it was? No, no, no. Carriage tab. Oh, no, it's right here. Carriage space? What is this? Yo, how do I calculate the standard deviation of an exponential distribution? Oh, it's Anthony Ham. Anthony Ham. Being serious, automatic manga translation. Oh, yeah, you're doing automatic manga translation. That's cool. Let's see. I think it's a carriage in two spaces. And then a number and then passing. Well, you know what I can do? I can just look at I can look at I think this is pretty safe. Having a parentheses and then having passing. Then where's the failed? Hmm. And then the next, yeah, okay, that's pretty safe. That's pretty safe. What's the best way to, all right, you go guys. What's the best way to find a string and a string? Search a substring. A string. Golang. Get the index. Let's see. Oh, that's it? Nice. I let ChatGPT do the coding for me. All right. Let's go here. Let's see. So for results, it's kind of silly. No, I think we can do it like this. Let's see, parse result for passing, failing, metrics. So really, I gotta just check if the index for passing string. So there's a few states. There's a state of it was an error. Like it couldn't even run. Because if there's an error, if you're running Mocha and there's an error before the describe and it statement, then it'll just show it'll upgrade the error. It'll be the first thing. It doesn't even show any sort of logging. Mocha doesn't run. So that's if there's a import that's failed. So the first state is this if this doesn't show up. Okay. Oh wait. Oh, if it's not equal to, yeah. It's this one. This is the one that it just fails. So there's an error. Fix agent. There's an error. How you doing the automatic manga translation? NVIDIA announced GROOT. Ah, what the fuck is GROOT? Now I gotta look up GROOT. Come on. Can someone help Anthony with his homework? All right. What is this? What is this? What is this shit? GROOT? All right. You guys want to see this? This is NVIDIA just announced GROOT and Disney bots. Is this crazy? This was just announced when I started streaming. Hold on a second. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Can you hear that? Hold on. If you can't hear it, let's react to this. Look at him in his little jacket.
About the same size.
All right. Can you guys hear that? IRL Iron Man lore. Dude, the jacket, I'm with the jacket. Let's see. More robots. Try segment anything to clean up pages. To do what? Okay. Can you guys hear it?
The soul of NVIDIA. The intersection of computer graphics, physics, artificial intelligence.
All right.
It all came to bear at this moment. The name of that project, General Robotics 003. I know. Super good.
003.
Super good.
Where's the 3?
Well, I think we have some special guests. Do we? Hey guys.
I don't know what's happening. What the fuck is this? Is this a troll?
Powered by Jetson. They're powered by Jetsons. Little Jetson robotics computers inside.
Oh wow, that's cool.
They learn to walk in Isaac Sim.
What? That's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is orange, and this is the famous green. They are the BTX robots of Disney. Amazing.
Dude, I could beat the shit out of
Disney
both of those
research.
robots. Let's just be real.
Come on, you guys, let's wrap up. Let's go.
1v1?
5 things.
Try to learn how to do a rear naked choke.
I said right here.
I'm kidding. It's very cool. It's very cool.
Don't be afraid. Come here, Green. Hurry up. What are you saying?
Okay. I get it. It's cool. It's I mean, what is this? Someone brought this up, and now who brought this up? Javu? What is this? Let's see, Project GROOT. Project GROOT. Yeah, they had that shit in Star Wars. No, I get it. No, they're saying that it learned to walk, like on its own, in some like testing environment. Let's see what this is. The age of humanoid robots could be a significant step closer thanks to a new release from NVIDIA. The computing giant has announced the launch of Project GROOT, its new foundation model aimed at helping the development of such robots in industrial use cases. Okay. Standing for Generalist Robot 00 Technology. On stage at NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, company founder and CEO, oh, he founded? I didn't know that. Revealed robotics powered by the platform will be designed to understand natural language and emulate movements observed by human actions. So it naturally learns stuff. So they quickly learn coordination, dexterity, and other skills in order to navigate, adapt, and interact in the real world. Definitely not lead to a robot uprising at all. Is this like a serious publication? What was that? No, it's very funny. Huang went on to show off a number of demos, which saw Project GROOT powered robots carry out a number of tasks from XXX. Show what? I don't know. So like they say from XXX. Did it fuck? What does that mean? Okay. They're like it should have it did a number of tasks. You know what we're talking about. Showing that building foundation models for general humanoid robots is one of the most exciting problems. It's very cool. So it learned how to like walk and shit. That's cool. I mean that. So sometimes I can sound like I don't care. No, it's very cool. It's very cool. It seems very nice. I mean, I don't. The implications are interesting. Like if they can really teach these to, um, yeah, I'm guessing it is a variable for any task. They're like it can do XXX. What? No, I think they just didn't think about it when they wrote it. Honestly, I think this person was just drunk. Everyone's drunk. Everyone's just drunk. Okay. Yeah, I think they just never filled out. No, they're like it does. Shh. You know what it does. That's why the guy was so happy on stage. He's like, "Listen, guys, we made a great robot. It can do a lot of things." They're like, he really likes that robot. Um, the company also revealed upgrades to its NVIDIA Isaac robotics platform designed to make robotic arms smarter, more flexible. Oh, that's very cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me wrap this up so I don't fix agent. Let's see. I honestly think when I see stuff like that, I'm typically like, because demos are signals, right? Demos are signals. That's one thing that I always. Same with Devin. Devin. This Nvidia demos are signals. They're always signals. Signals to investors, to customers, prospective customers, ex-wives. No, but when people do these demos, it's always a message, right? And a lot of it's about competition. So whenever I see these demos, I'm like, who are they competing with? You know, it's how a lot of things like this work. It's how a lot of things like this work. So is anyone, you guys scared about Nvidia? You guys scared about it? What's the vibe on everyone? What has everyone done? I haven't talked to you guys in a bit. What do you guys like? Is everyone getting tech jobs? I feel like it's everyone's fine, right? I feel like people are freaking out about getting tech jobs and shit, but I think I know a lot of people that are getting work. It's just not in the same sectors as before. It's like a sector shift. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. The tensors will consume the job market. The tensors will consume the job. What do you mean? I feel like the job market will be consumed by whoever's willing to get results. Results is what matters. Oh, you're just saying AI. And then he's like, he got a final round interview at Just Ask. Yeah, yeah, you still hearing back from him? Someone has to invent spice, then we can go full Dune. I don't know enough about Dune. What, dude, what's the deal with Dune? Just being real. Like, whenever I see Dune, I'm like, so people like this? Is this what we like now? Like, we people with weird shit in their nose? I saw half of the first one, so fucking boring. I didn't finish it. Yeah, those movies were gay. Halfway through Dune, I'm like, oh, so this is like we used to have like Indiana Jones. So we think this is fun now? I can't find the IRL Dune meme. I keep hearing the references to it. Please make it stop. Dune is sci-fi where thinking machines are banned and humans are augmented. I did not get that vibe at all from the first movie. I was like, "Oh, this is like a Hamlet-esque like boring like sand movie with a kid that needs like food. Who's with like an emaciated, well, he's like a grown man, but I was like, we need like, dude, do you guys remember like Indiana Jones and like Star Wars? You show a kid the first Dune and the in Star Wars Episode 4, like which is he gonna like? Like, come on. Like, let's be real. Nvidia is just CHOAM. What is that? I think, by the way, AI is just an intelligence. It's an intelligence abstraction. See it like that. See it like an intelligence abstraction. People just toss intelligence at it. That's it. It's like that's it. Yeah, find God. It's just an intelligence abstraction. It's like people like to just say, let's use AI for it. The same way they said, oh, let's use engineers for it. Or let's get our analysts to do it. Power players in business like to just throw things at intelligence. Deus Vault. Is everyone okay today? Um, but yeah, it's just an intelligence like apparatus. And I mean that not like what it literally is, because it's just like weights. It's just numbers, it's parameters, tensors. They have a direction, they have magnitude. But when we say like how it's used, these autoregressive models are, and I say that because that's what it is still. Maybe Devin's using something else, but that's is what it is. That's why people keep talking about this system one versus system two thinking stuff. Um, because it really at the end of the day is just it's not as intelligent as you think it is, but it's used that way. Is the reason why I'm saying it. Because people like I've been hearing a lot like clients things like that be like, oh, like we'll use AI for X thing. And it's really so that's why I do think that it will take significant. It will automate a lot of things because it's very convenient because it's faster. It's lower intelligence for most things, but it's faster. Read the book. Fuck those movies. What what book? No, I'm not gonna waste my time with a sci-fi book. No one can predict the future. Gotta learn, adapt, do what you can control. Yeah, yeah. Focus on what you control. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, focus on what you can control. But also ride the wave too. Like I love this like AI time. I mean, you can see I make like a ton of AI projects. I think it's really cool, man. I think it's awesome. I want to see the real potential in it. The one bit stuff is fascinating. I would look into that. Having this like trinary representation of the bits or of the information. I'll say that. I think it's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see. I love AI. Hashtag I love AI. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. The problem with AI is 100%. All my markets is quite right now. Not all of it, like, but a lot of it is like fine tuning stuff and like LM agents and really just being an inference junkie. But it's like it's so funny using AI because a lot of it's just data engineering, using just a lot of different models to do a lot of different things. Not all of it's LLM stuff. We've had to do, yeah, just stuff that isn't LLM focused. AI. The I don't actually use it as a tool to build that much. I mean, I'll like ask ChatGPT stuff because languages of ChatGPT is really a big thing. You feel always like slow scraping and topics like clustering, PA, like some people always need clustering, PA, top model. Ag? Oh, for real. One sec. Is it this thing? How do I have lag right now? I'm like not doing anything. Have I heard of Rabbit R1? Will? Yeah, I'm good now. Will? I heard yes, which is happening. Let me reset. Yeah, I'm gonna just reset. It's super fucked up. Anyway, guys, don't worry about AI. Don't worry about AI. Have I checked out Rabbit R1? Yeah, I've checked out Rabbit R1. Oh my god. Yeah, I think it's just laggy, right? I'll show the secret project soon. I'll show the secret project soon. I wanted to show some of the like LLM agent stuff that I've been doing recently just because it's not as like crazy. Also I wanted to show a lot of what I was doing when it comes to really thinking about what the feature space is because it doesn't always need to be English. Like it doesn't always need to be like literally a coding language. It's all about the relationships. Like really break down what's happening in the key query value and the attention layer with key query and value. And you'll really think like, well, it's kind of a linear problem if you really break it down. And I think when you're thinking of things, the complexities of things linearly, I don't think it's very smart to train a ton of LLMs on just straight up code as much as the relationships between components, interoperable components. I think that's what's really going to actually take people's jobs, quote unquote. I don't think anyone's job is really going to be uh like what the road people are going down now, I don't think is going to I think it's really cool and it's the start of it, but you need someone that understands the relationships between components in your code base and how they relate to the chaotic world, the chaotic, crazy world. That's what you need. And that's possible, which is why I'm like, eventually it's going to happen. But I don't think the trajectory now is perfect for pure AI software engineering. Write a research paper on this method? Maybe. I mean, I'd rather just do it. I'd rather just build stuff. The thing I'm building is very much a lot of what I'm saying, but uh, it's like specific browser automation. Wait, am I like? Well, it's to do with really um. The, I think I'm bugging out. All right, and that someone is me. I'm free agent, by the way. I can't do. I think Anthony's AI, so I don't know. Um. All right, guys. Was fun. I wanted to do another stream. We'll probably, oh yeah, Jack and I will probably do a stream on Thursday. See you guys then. If I don't do something like on like tomorrow or Wednesday, I'll see you guys on Thursday. All right. Adios.